Today's video is going to be more decades-old household cleaners. I picked most of these ones up over the weekend at estate sales and yard sales. Actually, just today I went to an estate sale. This person had a whole bunch of them in their basement for $1 a piece, but they gave me a giant box of dozens of them for $4, which I thought was pretty cool. I love collecting these for their old packagings. I like to see what they looked like back then. Some of the companies aren't even in business anymore, but I'm going to be showing some that are kind of old and very old. My newest one is probably in the early 2000s, and my oldest one I think is in the 60s or 70s. So I'm going to start off with this one right here. This one I can tell is pretty old. De-icer. I'm going to go around and show everything on there. It's flammable. Don't swallow it. It's made in the USA. There you got your skull and crossbones. That poison symbol. You don't see that much more on newer products. And this, it's still got pressure, because if it didn't have pressure, it would sound like this one over here. Listen to this. That is what it would sound like if it lost its pressure. Although this one did not lose its pressure. This was never pressurized to begin with, because this cap you take off and you pour it out. Never pressurized. I'm going to go show this one now. It's called Turtle Wax. Bug and tar remover. Tree sap remover. Made in the USA. Super penetrating formula for all car finishes. It's combustible. Fatal if swallowed. Harmful or fatal. There's everything it removes. Combustible mixture. Your directions and precautions. Again, it says made in the USA. I just love these old containers because you don't see them that much anymore. Now I have 2 Lysol containers here. I'm going to show this one first. This is the newer version of it. It's from a store called Walgreens. There we go. Tough-on soap scum. There's all your ingredients for this product. There's your year, 1998. This is one of my newer containers I have. Even though it's 19 years old, the packaging really does not look much more different from then. Kind of looks the same. And this has all its pressure after 19 years. Okay, I'm going to show the older one. This is an older Lysol. It still has its pressure, although it's almost empty. Light scent. Kills household germs. Show that. This stuff might be harder to read with all that reflective stuff. Very reflective. Yeah. And also I want to point out, you see that tag? It says East Coast Marketplace. That place isn't around anymore. They renamed themselves to Ocean State Job Lot, so that's pretty cool that that tag is on there. They renamed themselves 10 or 20 years ago. And this is a product called Dry Gas. It removes moisture from your engine, or I guess your gas tank. I threw this in here because it is a cleaner for your engine. That is from 1990. So that's got 29 years old. If I saw this thing sitting on a shelf, I would think it's new if I didn't read that. Just the way it's packaged, it doesn't seem that old. Okay. Move on to the next one. This one is called Rusticide. The chemical rust destroyer, iron and steel surfaces. Rusticide. I'm going to have to look up this one. This one could be helpful for me for restoring old items. I just got to make sure it's not hazardous to breathe or anything, because some of these old things, they found stuff out about them. The ones I have here, I did some research on. I don't think any of these ones are dangerous, at least not from what I've heard. But most of these I'm not going to open. I just want them for the packages. And that's sold for 75 cents. And what is that tag? TE. I don't know what that means. Now this next one, this actually looks really new, doesn't it? It's not that new. It still has all its pressure in it. I just want to show the date on there. It's from 1992, so you got about 27 years. And this thing doesn't have a speck of rust on it, which is surprising. It's like somebody just cleaned it. Maybe they did clean it. It was at an estate sale. Maybe they cleaned it before they sold it. Okay, moving on. This next one I could not find a date on, but I'm going to show the price tag. Kelly Fredette Lumber Mart Inc. That's an old tag. In these kind of cans, maybe back then there was actually a ball bearing in them. I've learned that newer ones, they just have a glass marble in them. Like if you open an old can of Rust-Oleum, or I should say a new can of Rust-Oleum after you're done using it, it's just a glass marble. I always thought it was a ball bearing. Maybe when this old it is. And I remember seeing shutters like this a long time ago when I was little. You don't see them that much anymore. A lot of old houses had them. Those were expensive. Those shutters that were in the inside of your house that you could open and close. Okay, here is a blade wash for your buzz cutter. Turn that around. Okay, I'm going to show the back of this. Okay. Check out that date. That is really old, 1976. And there's USFR11, some kind of code. The next product I have is called Rusty Jones Fabric Preserver. I've never heard of that before. It still has full pressure. That's from 1981. That's also pretty cool. Old. Chicago, Illinois. Moving on. Next one I have here is called Vanish. Remove stubborn stains. It's sold for $2.29. Let's see if I can zoom in on the ingredients. Get that to focus on in. It's new enough to have the recycling triangle. It is from 1993. And that is smudged. That is not the camera. And this, I'd say, is about a quarter full, maybe a third. The next thing I have here sold for $5.99. It's called Mirror Glaze Professional Liquid Waxing. Sadly, there's no date on it. Usually they have the copyright date so you know about what year it was made. This one doesn't have that. Although things like this and soap, it really doesn't expire. In some cases, it's actually the bottle that expires. Like if you buy bottled water in a plastic container, it's actually the bottle that expires. This is also fully pressurized. Actually, I've had a few products from tonight made by Oyster, including that razor cleaner, Cool Lube, Chipper Blade Coolant. Actually, this might be for that stuff too. 1979, so that's pretty old. Am I missing something on here? I'm not really seeing. What is it for? It says Blade Coolant. Is that for a buzz cutter like this one? I'm thinking it is. Okay. Next product. It was sold at a store called Brooks. I remember Brooks when I was little. They got taken over by a store called Rite Aid, which is also about to go out of business, I heard, or be taken over by somebody else. It's called Oyst Air Sanitizer. Eliminates odors by killing odor-causing bacteria in the air. Personally, I've never heard of something you spray in the air that kills off. Also, I've never looked for it. There's your active ingredients. Hopefully I can find a year on this. It is fully pressurized, if I didn't say that already. Oh, there, yep. This is probably the newest product I have, 2003. Okay. This isn't that old at all. This is actually for the air. I'm curious to know what this smells like. You know what it smells like? It smells like basically any cleaner you'd buy these days. It actually smells like Lysol disinfectant when you're cleaning your countertops. That's what I would compare it to. Now this next container here doesn't have any dates, but I thought it was pretty cool that it has a price stamp on it that says 69 cents. Because something these days like this would at least cost a few bucks. And you see, if you want to know about what you can clean with it, you have to look through the bottle. Wow, that would be pretty difficult to read if it was full. No, actually, no, it wouldn't. That was just a weird angle I was looking at. Is there a date through there? That's what I'm trying to see. Copyright. No, it just says the company name in there, which says Boyle Midway. Let me spell that in case I'm pronouncing that wrong. BOYLE/MIDWAY. Okay, and that's it for this. This here's a window cleaner. These days they have, that trigger, like a Windex container. Never actually seen one like this. That's pretty cool. And the cap is metal. This is metal here. And like I said, I bought these at a yard sale today just to show what I did. Actually, I missed one of them here on the Lysol container. I removed all these yard sale tags from them all. But I hope this video was interesting. I find this stuff really interesting, all the old containers. But thanks for watching.